as you can see, I've done a bit more to the picture. If you remember, I put in this big blue sky. This was quite orange, and this was beginning to get a little bit overweighted because of all this color. I need all this color because the picture I'm going to put it beside, if it works and I hang it, 2 ifs, is very strongly colored. So what I did was to use that blue over here, see, in quite a big splodge on that awning. So it pulls the color across. And this orange will be reflected in this lady's coat here. The other thing I found was when I was painting it originally, my easel was slightly canted. This building is falling over. So I've got to reposition this certainly today because her head's there. And I'll do that bit later. I'm about an inch out up there. And I've got to get the building standing up. And it means quite a lot of fat because I've got to straighten these windows as well. So yeah, it's quite a big performance. If I'd had the sense, the line in straight in the beginning, life is like that, isn't it? Right, okay. So now I'm going to do I've got to put this right first. So that when I get her head in, I'm not, exactly, yes, something like that. Something like that. Right, okay. So now what I used for that was white, obviously, and a touch of that one, raw sienna, to get that sort of creamy effect. And if I get the picture, this comes down around here, and in fact goes along here. And then we come down here, there. I put a line here to give me where the edge is. So I know where the edge is, which is what I should have done before. That's perhaps a bit too adventurous, but we'll see. And then there's a dark line. Dark line here. Not there, it's here. And there we are. I'm putting a touch of, touch of purple in the yellow. Remember, if you use the opposite color in the color circle to darken your colors, you get a better representation of how they are. This is here. What's that? Oh, that's really dark. Right. It's really dark there. There's a really dark bit there. Once I've got this bit done, I can start to think about how she is. Oh, dear me. This is pretty rough. I'll be going back over this because it's far too rough. It's just to get the lines in the right place so that it begins to read better. And I need that over. That reads a bit better now. I think I can live with that. But trouble is, once you get started, you start to see other things you want to do. Forget that, Steve. Come on, you're doing something else. Right. Now then, this lady and this lady and her little dog are actually not in this picture at all. So that is not going to help me very much. In actuality, she's got beautiful blonde hair. She's wearing a turquoise, bright green, leaf green shirt and got white trousers. But this is winter. And in any case, I wanted to have an orange coat. Ergo, she's going to have an orange coat. So I think I'll turn her hair dark brown and see where we can go from there. I don't know if this. So she is. Oh, I didn't bring the picture with me either. It's a bit twitchy. So I might need those. I want her to have presence. Yeah, so we'll make that bit a bit lighter there. See, I'm not trying to paint the whole head of hair in one brush stroke. I'm trying to make it up. I am making it up. I've painted her so many times, I ought to know what she looks like. She appears in a lot of my pictures. I was just very taken with the group as it right. She's not as smart as usual. It's a very shaggy hairdo for her. However, there we are. Now, I want it to be light. And right, so this is where the light is. On her. So a bit of white in that. And if I take a bit of brown with it this time, we can put in the other side of a color. The light is on her shoulders. Then this part here will be darker. For some reason, I've stopped around there. I don't know why. It looks like she's had an amputation. I'm going to take it further down. Right, she can have a bag in that hand when I get around to it. So I take a bit of the orange. Again, I'm not putting in the whole figure. You know, I'm not painting it orange and then titivating it. I'm trying to suggest the light pouring across the coat as she right, so This side is in shadow. By the time we get down here, this is in shadow too. Got the bag in the hand there, but you're standing up. Right. It's all right. I'll live. Right. That arm's a bit wooden. Do something about that, but we'll play with that later. Beauty of oil paints is if you get it wrong, right, paint it out, do it again. So I want to put in some more fine detail now. Right, so there'll be a shadow here. Too high for a waist. No, she's a female, isn't she? So she's got a high waist. Right, now then. This coat swinging out over there. And there'll also be, actually, that would be more like that. Basically, you fiddle till it works. No? Now, if I get the sleeve in the right place, this one is allowed to curve there because she's got a handbag. Right. I don't know why I'm wiping it on my hand. It's not doing us any good, is it? Right. I should have brought the picture. I know what I was doing. Right. Okay. No, she would actually, if she was there, that elbow would be bent. So the dark. We'll go right there. Come in. The jacket needs to be a bit fuller over here. It's actually in shadow because the hand's there. That bit would be in shadow too. No, she's standing. Yeah. No. Who wants to do faces? Still looks a bit strange up here, but no, it'll come. That's right. Let's give her some legs. If we can, she can have blue legs. She's not a lady who would actually wear denim, but I'm not being too precious about that line. If you make that line too definite, it just looks like she's not wearing the clothes. You know? So that's where she is. Now, you've got to keep the center of balance in the right place. She's got to be standing on those legs. They've got to work as legs. Otherwise, life gets a bit difficult. It's a bit bright. Not how I intended it to look. That's a bit bright. Oh, it's not going to go dark again now, is it? It's the trouble with white. The minute you get a bit of white in, you've lost. No, let's give her a knee. This lady would be horrified at the mere suggestion of jeans. She was a very elegant lady, actually. So now we come to the problem of feet. Generally speaking, don't put them in. Generally speaking, but in this case, I think I've got to give her at least a little something to stand on. There. And she's got now then, if she was wearing an orange coat and blue jeans, what color would a handbag be? There's some useful some useful suggestions coming from all over the place here. One of those handbag bags, you know? And it will have a bit of dark in it somewhere. Up there. And I've got a clean brush now, haven't I? I need to make that arm look a bit more like an arm. I can't get that right. Okay, leave it. I can put it right later. I just can't get it right at the moment. I probably need to stand up. Still, she's there. Basically telling me that's the color. Now we have this other lady. Oh dear. No, she isn't quite so dressy normally. I don't want her hair to be, I think it's vaguely light behind her, so I better do her hair darker. And she's side face to us this one. I don't think she would have long hair tumbling down her. She might. And she would have a face, of course. You've got to get a face in, haven't you? Not with that brush, she won't. Right, I'll use that. White. Well, she looks like she's dead if I give her that. She's a corpse. Right, we'll try again. Yeah, she's a corpse, she's a zombie. Just a smudge. He's walking towards us, so I'll get his face. He's got a face. Right. It doesn't matter that they're not. Oh, there's somebody here too. Right, that's 3 faces done. Okay. Now she. Well, she can't have a red jacket, can she? She's. It would look silly next to her. She could have a blue jacket. Yes, I'll give her a blue jacket. Or a purple jacket. Pardon? Somebody voting for purple? Well, you know, we'll try it. It's okay. It just looks dark. It is purple, but there's purple behind it. Yeah. Not sure about that hair. I'll paint it out. These are 2 ladies of a certain age, I think. In the actual picture, she's got a white blouse and a neckroot jacket, I think. It's really pathetic. I'm tempted to give her red pants. Yep. Find a bit of red. See what it looks like. Don't have the dog red. It's a Westie. It's very runny. can usually wipe it out. Any votes? They're not bad, actually. Might even work. Yeah, yes, it is right. Put a bit of red in this lady. I'm just playing with her, you know, because she's not right. I'm going to be playing with her until she is right. Oh, no, my day. Right, so that works, but that's too thin. So let's take it out and put it in again. This time with a brush with a bit of beef on it. I've not got one. Oh, yeah. You've been walking off with my brushes, Rachel. To be fair, she does, she brings. Right, okay, so we decided red is quite a good color. So let's get it in. And again, I'm not making a big issue about where they join. Because I could have left it and made his collar red, couldn't I? Why doesn't she look right? She's not. No. As you can see, this is going to be a long haul. Hoping to get a bit more finished on this so that I could do twitching time on that for you. However, if I get yet another brush and put the white bag in, she's got a white Tesco bag here. Just to show you where it is. And this little dog is white. There's the wolf. Of course, it won't be white. Can't have anything that white, that low down. But any more than that will. I just wanted to get the color in to deal with it now. Somehow or other, I'll put a bit of. You can tell I'm unhappy. I've got 3 brushes in my hand. 3 brushes means Steve's not happy. I usually end up with 1 brush and do everything with 1 brush. Looks a bit more like a dog already. Wolf. I think I don't like sitting down, actually. Although this far down, you've got to, really. Cheer her up. I'm going to give her a white shirt, a white scarf, white scarf. There we are. There, she's a bit more cheerful now. Yeah, but the loss of attention needs to be paid. Yeah, her waist is in the right place, I think, but otherwise, I need to pay a bit more attention to that, if at all possible. This lady has a white shirt. I'm not too sure. He hasn't got a white collar on too. Don't know what he's doing. Well, I might not do the background. Depends on how much of the background I want to see. I might leave some of it the way it is. I mean, I'd probably take that big patch out there. But I might just leave it as it is, as a background, if I think it's going to work in the picture. If I feel it's a bit too violent and it's taking away interest from the rest of the picture, well, obviously I will put a bit more in. But what I'll try and do, finish the figures this week at home, so that I can show you how I go about twitching around here. Twitching is the very last thing you do in a picture. You know, you sit there for hours and you look and you put in a stroke, and then you look and you put in another stroke, and suddenly the whole thing starts to appear. But that's the way I go about putting the figures in. Try to use colors that will work with the rest of the picture. Try to remember light direction, which is pretty vague in this picture because it was light. It was a light day, but it wasn't sunny particularly. There were no shadows, so you have a problem sighting people on the ground. You know, if the light coming that way, so shadow would go that way, wouldn't it? That's too strong. The sooner you get the shadow in, the sooner you join up the people. That little wolf's got to have a shadow, and he's wet, so the shadows just help to join the people up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Just enough to delineate. There's somebody there. It's much too strong. And it would probably go a bit there. Just put some on the ground. But I didn't want to make too much of the shadows because it isn't a strongly lit picture in that sense. Right, so not as done as well as I would want to today, but you know, life happens like that, doesn't it? Just to show you how you can paint badly. Let's see what I think of her anyway. Well, she's there, but she certainly needs a lot more attention. For once, her friend is looking brighter than she is. Yes, but when I have the photographs themselves to help me get the figures right, because I can't hold things in my head to that extent. I do need a source to look at. Maybe I should not have started on those two, but I wanted to get her in to help create this balance. Is this going to work? And in fact, those colors there are in those colors there. So it is in fact pulling you across. And once I get the other people in and the man on the bike, and other people might appear, you know, if I think that they need to. Not too sure I've got her in the right place or even tall enough. When you think, heads, generally speaking, if you are standing when you're taking the sketching or the drawing, heads are level with your own head, eye level. So either I am standing at the bottom of a hill, because her head is on the level with the floor, where the shop front meets the thing. So either I've got to drop the shop floor a bit so that I'm standing a little bit higher, or I've got to paint it up and put it in the right place. And I don't fancy doing that because I've got the man on the bike. You see that when I was looking at it, the man on the bike is in the right place, his head. You can barely see him. He's here, there we are, that's where he is. His head is there, and that's the same level as hers. So I've got to do something about that. But you learn by my mistakes, all right?